validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt up on the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher constantly, making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. Whoa. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. Happy Thursday, where we talking about this, that, and everything in between. I'm your host, Sander. Thank you guys for being patient with us today. We're about 40 minutes late today, but we're going to be trying to run us a little bit of an hour-long show here on our favorite Thursday night. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe as we talk about today's topic, where we're going to be talking about upgrading your dating style by using some of your business credit. I always give you guys positive advice on how to make money, save money, and invest money. But today I'm actually going to give you guys a little bit of advice on how you can use some of that success that you built up to kind of help you get a little bit ahead in the dating game. In a good way and in a less productive way if you're not the kind of person that's trying to save and improve your empire. So we are live 7 nights a week. We typically start at around 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and 7 o'clock California time, where California is still on fire from what I hear. Rumor has it. I actually was tied down, so I wasn't not literally tied down, but like I had a lot of things going on, so I actually had not taken the time to follow up on the California burn, but I definitely did get a little bit of insight on that California burn. So I'm going to be trying to touch base on a lot of the stuff that's going on with that particular fire, where they are with it as far as putting it out. And then also, Donald Trump has done as many as 30 executive orders as of recent. We've gone over 9 of them, so I got to filter out the 9 that I've already discussed with you guys. But I know that everybody was in an uproar about some of the ones that he has passed recently that we didn't talk about on Monday. So I'm going to try to cover the other 21 executive orders on Monday, depending on what those executive orders are and how long it takes for me to go through them. I may have to cover some of them on a different day, depending on how much time I have after the show and how long it takes for me to get through all of those executive orders. Tomorrow tomorrow's Friday, so we have another topic similar to today's topic, how to improve your social interactions and relationships using business and finance, and self-confidence and emotional intelligence. And then the day after that, on Saturday, we're going to be talking about the NAACP and the DEI programs, and if they are actually benefiting the minority cultures. And one of the reasons why it made sense for Donald Trump to stop funding it from the government perspectives. And some people are not going to agree with that, but that's okay. You always can comment in the comment section, or approve the mic, approve the camera, and then leave your responses and reviews in person in real time. As long as you're over the age of 18, we can bring you onto the show. So carrying through today's topic, because we're going to try to run through this over the next hour and 10 minutes, because I actually just recently got a connection from somebody in Taiwan, or Taipei, something like that, where we're going to be dealing with something from 1 o'clock Central Time, which is 1 o'clock Eastern Time, which is about midnight Central Time. So I think that's like 10 o'clock California time. So we're going to be trying to get through most of the information over the next hour and 10 minutes. And if in the event that we can carry on after that engagement, we will. But otherwise, I will try to reserve a lot of your questions and comments in the comment section until tomorrow's show. And then we'll kind of start tomorrow's show where we left off with today's show, and then continue tomorrow's show going through, because I do believe I have an extra day off because of scheduling. So going to be trying to work those things out. Good news is that we're one step closer to the close. We have to get the appraisers up there, and we are just waiting on some of the information with whether or not there's going to be a above ground hot tub on the property or not. So we're working through some of the kinks, some of the issues. It's usually takes about 45 to 60 days to make something happen once you start signing paperwork. So we might not have everything situated until the middle of February, but things are changing. But we got the deal. We just got to finish closing the deal. So with the way things are at this point, the only thing that we can do is just be patient. But that requires me to work double shifts, because I have this podcast and other work that I do overnight, and then I have the real estate business that I'm handling during the daytime. So kind of doing a little bit of both, and that does spread thin. But today I was actually late because I was talking to family. My sister called, and we kind of went from a short 20-minute call to like a 3-hour call. So, we finally caught up after a while and not talking to one another. I always encourage you guys to work on relationships. I reach out to her via text message every now and again. And then when she's not busy, she'll give me a call. So I don't waste my time with calling her, because she never answers the phone. But because I have sent her quite a few text messages throughout the month, she will call me. And if I'm not doing something, then I'll answer the phone. And that gives us the ability to talk, to formulate that relationship. So by showing value in family, by reaching out without actually wasting a bunch of time knowing that they're not going to answer phones, I reach out in a way to let them know that they matter. And in return, if they find time to reach out, they will reach out. So like what she does is that she'll call me while she's doing a long distance drive, because she's got nothing else to do but drive and talk on the phone, even though that is a bit distracting, even if she's paying attention to the road while she's driving. It's just the fact that that drive from point A to point B is the only opportunity that she might have to communicate with family. So if she utilizes that multitasking, it gives her the ability to recognize and reciprocate validation for family members while driving a car, which is partially going to be some of what we're talking about today, is prioritizing your personal success through business lines of credit. So I wanted you guys to join me as I take on the challenge of using credit secrets to completely upgrade the dating life that you have and see if you can really impress someone special with this strategy. Now, to me, while I'm going to do this, I just want you guys to know I'm not going to impress you with squat. We are going to do something cheap, or we not doing nothing. We if I can help it, we gonna do something free, or we're not doing nothing. Matter of fact, you want to go on a date? Let's go to the mechanic shop, get some free coffee, let you get yourself a 3-point checkup, a free checkup, and then we can just go on about our day. Yeah, we're gonna do we're gonna do something simple, because I'm not sitting here thinking $100, $200, $300 per engagement just to entertain somebody else when that person has no interest in entertaining me. I'm all about uniformity. I'm all about reciprocation. So if I'm going to put myself out there a certain way, I expect the opposite side of the group to do the exact same thing for me. And that is called mutual respect. If there isn't mutual respect, we got a problem, and we need to address that problem. And if I'm in an engagement with some people that are not willing to show mutual respect, I got to replace the people in the group. That's what has to happen. So when it comes to dating, we often focus on the superficial things, or charm, looks, but we have never stopped to think about the role that financial health plays in attractiveness. I mean, yeah, we understand that we got a lot of gold diggers in 2025, but there is more to it than that. It's a fascinating topic, and one that's I'm going to definitely be excited to drive into today's topic. Going to drive that into the ground a little bit, because dating can be tough, especially when it feels like everyone around you is putting on a perfect facade. And we've been there scrolling through social media, seeing our friends highlight reels and wondering why we can't seem to find someone who's financially stable, responsible, and attractive. I understand it's frustrating. The first problem you're going to have is that everybody's broke because everybody's wasting their money, and everybody that would be considered a good partner in life is at work because they grinded trying to keep ends together. So it's hard for you to tell the difference when you are communicating with somebody on their job where they're paid to be nice to you versus how they would treat you if they wasn't paid to be nice to you. And a lot of times women don't understand this when we say that the women are paying attention to the wrong thing, because a man's character, when a man is going to be nice to you, care for you, and put your wants, needs, and desires first, even if he doesn't spend any money on you, is more important than that guy that tries to impress you with his money. But if you only care about him impressing you with his money, then today is a good day for you, because I'm going to tell everybody what ins and outs we can go about getting this stuff done. But you really got to think about it. The more resources a man has, the more women are going to want that man because of his resources. But the man never really knows that the woman actually wants him for him. That more often than not, the observation is that she's only here for what I got to give. And in order for women to validate themselves and show value in the man, is that she has to show him that even if he doesn't spend $1 on her, that she's still in it for the long haul. Even if she's got to pay, she's in it for the long haul. Women don't understand that, sometime in a situation you cook once a month and make it seem like you cook every day. That doesn't validate, and that turns out to be a big issue. A lot of women are getting mad at cooking with Kaya, but while she's shaking her behind on the screen, she actually cooking that food in the kitchen. And there's a lot of women that feel like it's oppressive to cook food in the kitchen. It's not everyone, but the reason why we have TV dinners is because almost nobody cooks. You also go to the fast food restaurants. Almost the whole kitchen is men. You go to the 3 to 5 star restaurants. 95% of them are men. The women are typically the servers. So you have the attractive women in the front of the house waiting on the men hand and foot. And then you have the men in the back of the house making all the food taste good. So when you have this one woman going viral on TikTok because she's actually in the kitchen using it for what it was made for, the men don't know how to act, because you got half the men that are thirsty because they're not getting any emotional or sexual attention. And you have the other half of the men that are hungry because the women don't care if the men starve to death or not, as long as she gets her hair and nails done. that is the way it is. I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, well, you're an incel because you said that," but bro, like you can talk down to the messenger all day long. It's not gonna hurt my feelings. I'm straight with my money. As I said, we're closing on real estate deals right now, so I don't really give a if you care how I feel about the situation, because I'm not complaining about how the women are treating y'all. I'm just telling y'all what the facts is about how the women are treating y'all, because they're not treating me like that because I'm working. I'm not out there talking to them. I'm not out there trying to spend my whole paycheck on trying to convince one of them to go somewhere and do something with me. Like we talked about yesterday, where that 40-year-old man went on 25 first dates in a year. I'm not going on 25 first dates in a year. If I leave my house 25 times in a year for something not business related, I don't plan on spending money on it. Take the dogs for a walk. And if a female decides to talk to me while I'm walking the dogs, that might happen. But am I going to invest time and effort to go look for? No, too old for that. It's supposed to be the man's responsibility from historical, traditional roles, social roles, where the men are supposed to pursue the women, and then the women are supposed to accept the man's pursuit. But in modern egalitarian times, where women have the equal right to be in charge, women have the equal right to pursue. So since she claims that she's a prize, prove it. If you're a prize, show me what you got. Because at the end of the day, and I know that that's going to be like soft guy, drizzle kind of thing, but let's be real. Like, the man's going to meet the girl from day one, first date, first 10 dates, first 30 dates. Then, you guys commit to one another. She moves into his house, or sometimes he moves into her house, but he's still paying for everything in the house. And they're going to live together long enough for him to go and spend a large portion of his paycheck on an engagement ring. And then he's going to pay for the wedding, because historically, the father of the groom would give the father of the bride a dowry. That was the wedding. Or in some cultures, the father of the bride might give the father of the groom a dowry. That's the wedding. That's the cost of the wedding. In the 60s and 70s, at least the parents would pay for the wedding, even though it wasn't arranged marriages after 1950. But you still have, after like 1990 something, where the husband pays for the marriage. The wife doesn't pay for the marriage, but the wife wants this lifestyle changing $100,000 center of attention wedding with like a trip to Tahiti or something ridiculous like that. But you're not saving and investing for that. So where is the egalitarianism in the engagement? Because if he's going to spend 2/3 of his income on your engagement ring, why are you not spending 2/3 of your income on the wedding? Why does he have to pay for their engagement ring and the wedding? Some women say because of the sacrifices they make in a relationship. Some women say because they're special. Some women say because they're deserving. But no woman can come up with the unique quality or characteristic that another woman doesn't have. But a lot of men can open up their bank account and show you how many zeros that they got more than the next man, which qualifies them more for your desire. So what makes one woman stand out over another? That's a good question. And ladies, if y'all know, y'all can chime in. But out of the 5,500 people that showed up on the podcast in that short period of time the other day, how many women jumped on and mentioned their value? What do they bring to the table? If you ask a woman that, you're probably not going to get a straightforward answer. But if you ask a man what he brings to the table, he's going to bring everything that a woman is looking for to the table to the best of his ability. And he's going to find a woman that accepts that amount. But women cannot compare what they expect from men to be how they define themselves, because you're not a man. So a woman can't be financially successful and highly educated and say that she's high value to the man, because that's not what men look for. That's what women look for. She would be high value to another woman, but she wouldn't be high value to a man. What a man is looking for and what the man needs, she's got to go find that out. And we've talked about that on the show plenty of times. One of the reasons why the middle-aged women have it harder to find a partner or a spouse is because you have fixated on what you want and could care less what he wants. You will wait until you find a man that is willing to do what you want, understanding that he will only get what you're willing to give him, not reciprocate and be the woman that he wants. So you're the only person satisfied between the two of you. which isn't a fair relationship. And a lot of times those relationships fail. And then they want to again say that I'm misogynistic because I say these things. But this is the truth. And it can easily get discouraging. So one of the biggest turnoffs for many singles is a partner who's struggling financially. And we want someone who got their life together, who's responsible and who can take care of themselves, but we don't want to aid them in becoming that type of person. So if they have the potential to be successful, but they just haven't gotten that opportunity that they needed to get over that hurdle to become successful, we're not willing to invest in a man who's not already financially successful. But there are a lot of alpha boss ladies that strongly believe that a man should be able to support her dream and support her vision, put her through college, help her get a degree, help her get a good job so that she could be financially successful. So he put her in a position to be successful, but she expects him to be self-made when she finds him. Well, why do the men have to deal with the Build-A-Bear project, but the women have to get the finished product? There's no reciprocation there. There's no uniformity there. This imbalance in expectations versus provisional reciprocation is the reason why there's such a dynamic shift in the dating game. But what if I told you that there's a way not to only to improve your financial health, but also to make yourself more attractive to potential partners in the process? It sounds too good to be true, but trust me, it's not. We've all heard of the phrase financially stable is successful. So our financial stability is sexy. That's the phrase. But what does that really mean? It is just about having a certain amount of money in the bank, or is there more to it than that? In my experience, it's about confidence, security, and a sense of freedom that comes with knowing you're in control of your finances. You notice, ladies, and I know y'all can chime in on this particular part and probably agree with it, that men that seem thirsty are not as attractive as men who could care less if you exist in their presence. Which is one of the reasons why if two men like a woman, the man that gives the woman the least amount of attention is the one that the woman goes for. It's a Jedi mind trick that men would have to go there specifically to ignore a woman, which ghosting a woman is mentally and emotionally toxic behavior, but that's the behavior that they're reciprocal to ignore them and don't give them the attention that they desire so that they can fiend for this attention and then ultimately chase the mysterious man that doesn't care if they exist. Ladies, if a man isn't valuing you from day one, then and after you've shown your value, because you can't say, well, he's got to, just because you put on a tight skirt and a pretty smile, that he's supposed to give you his whole paycheck. But after you've done something to show him that you're valuable, then he's supposed to be able to show you that he's going to sign up for what you got to offer. But you got to give him a trial basis of showing him what kind of wife material you really are before he starts the dating phase, where the dating phase, he grooms you to be the kind of wife that he needs, while you always put these boyfriends into boyfriend boot camp and train them to be obedient and subordinate to you. The trade-off, the unfair trade-off is that if a man is going to get into a relationship with a modern woman, with these young bucks, these Gen Zs, she's going to train him, but he's not getting anything that he wants. She's going to be her own woman because she's an alpha. And I got to say, that's why we have 2.9% at max years in a relationship before the relationship fails. Because either the man is no longer going to meet the unrealistic expectations of some of the women, or the woman is going to be unsatisfied with the lack of resources being provided by the man. Instead of becoming what he wants so that he can do what he needs to do to be the man that you want, you want him to be the man that you want, and that's it. And that's exactly what a business credit card can provide, is a way that you could learn and adjust and grow in a effective way with being more appealing with your business finance. So what is business credit exactly? Essentially, it's a way to establish credit in the name of your business rather than personally. And this is a game changer because it allows you to separate your personal and business finances and can even give you access to higher credit limits and better loan terms. By leveraging business credit wisely, you could start or grow a successful business, create additional income streams, demonstrate financial responsibility, and use business credit to fund a new venture or grow an existing one, potentially increasing your income. A successful business can provide financial stability and confidence, which may be the attractive qualities in the dating world that some people are looking for. So when you're investing in professional developments, you use your business credit to finance training, certifications, or education that can lead to higher paying job opportunities or improved business performance. You want to enhance skills and knowledge that you can make yourself more interesting and conversationalist style dating, where you would be mastering utilizing your business credit as the secret to increasing your confidence in the financial matters. This may translate to more self-assurance in dating situations, because you got to realize that if you broke and you ain't really got it to give, you don't your ends ain't meeting, you're barely able to take care of yourself. You don't really feel confident of being able to take care of an extra person. A lot of men feel subconscious about even asking a woman for money. So knowing that you're in a financial bind, it is nearly impossible to put yourself in a position where you could work with your partner and build yourself up financially, because you're broke, she's broke too. It's kind of a seesaw situation. So the newfound confidence that you get could help you approach potential partners with ease, have a plan of impressive dates without worrying about costs, engage in interesting conversation about business and finance, which actually gives you the ability to talk about your job so that she knows what you do for a living, because they're going to ask. You will be able to communicate with her about your expectations for investment opportunities and your 20-year financial plan as to where you see yourself in the future with your business versus your income stream, and where she would fit in with aiding you with becoming successful, because men must make sure that from the first date that they are putting forth the effort to put their non-negotiable expectations for behavior on the table before they move towards the commitment levels. They need to be able to express to the women exactly what they're looking for out of these relationships and exactly what they're hoping to gain from her presence that they find valuable, because the women are already saying steak and lobster and $150,000, $200,000 a year is the flat rate of expectations, whether you're ugly, attractive, tall, short, fat, thin, active, lazy. You got to have over $100,000 a year out the gate. So, we understand that there's certain qualities about men that can't change, but we also understand that there are some expectations that they need to have. Now, how you can improve your dating with utilizing taxes is you can improve your cash flow management. So you can utilize business credit cards to manage expenses and earn rewards, and then potentially freeing up more personal income for the dating activities. Because even though you can separate your business bank accounts from your personal bank accounts, there's a couple of things that you could potentially do utilizing your business credit cards, where you could charge certain things to the business that are tax deductible. And then those things are beneficial for the employees of the business, but the business money paid for it. This only works with businesses that are generating revenue. So if you have a shell corporation or a stock corporation that is just a business by name, but not actually generating revenue, it's a little bit harder to pull this off. But if you actually have a revenue generating business, you can do things like take out a cash loan and buy something. And it doesn't have to be a large cash loan. You could do a cash loan for $1,000, and then you can spend 2 or 300 of it and take the other 700, put it into a stock, and then pay it off, and then you have 700 in the stock. You could get yourself in advance to go on a short vacation. I don't recommend that. I find that that's financially wasteful, but I mean, if that's what you're going to do, you can do that. And if you're talking about business, the whole vacation, it's a business trip, so it ends up being written off on your taxes. So even though you spent that money, spent that business money, you actually spent the business money and then didn't have to pay Uncle Sam that exact same monetary value. So you it's a win-win. So when you have better financial management, you can reduce your stress and allow yourself to focus more on your personal life. You're also not working yourself to death, taking bad business deals just to make a buck. You're not trying to close on unrealistic and unsatisfactory deals that are going to put you more in a hole than what you're going to turn you out of profit. Talking about some, I'm just trying to get the experience under my belt. No, I'm trying to turn a profit. I'm not trying to do nothing with nobody that is not going to pay me or at least give me some form of reciprocation that I'm satisfied with in order for me to perform the task. Doesn't matter what the task is. I was actually just a matter of fact, I was actually having a conversation with my sister earlier today, and we were talking about family. And I told her, I said, look, all of the effort that I'm putting into getting a house for my father, I'm like, I am not about to have my brother come over for free. He's going to have himself a game plan. He's going to have, if he's coming over to live, he's going to have to be able to invest in the property. He's going to have to put in some monetary gains into the property. I've never gotten a free ride in my life. If I didn't have it, I did without. If I didn't have enough, I failed. I didn't have a safety net. I couldn't fall on somebody else and lean on somebody else. If it wasn't there, it just wasn't there. If I was Jesus and nobody gave me that fish and that loaf of bread, we would starve to death because nobody showed up. I didn't have anybody showing up for me. So I'm like, no, I put all this effort into being successful, and I put all this effort into being successful without asking for help. So now that you're in a situation where I'm the youngest child and everybody else is older than I am and less successful than I am, I'm like, no, you're not about to have me. If you really want to make yourself successful, just watch my podcast and take the advice that I give everybody else around the world and apply it, because I'm applying it. That's why I'm successful. That's the reason why I have the things that I have. That's the reason why I'm able to do the things that I do. But I'm not going to sacrifice my own success by trying to carry somebody who clearly doesn't want to carry themselves. And if that's how I'm going to treat family, you only can imagine what I'm going to do in a relationship. If you're not carrying your weight, you're not going to be here very long. And I know some people are going to say, well, he ain't going to be in a relationship no long time. No, I would be. Might not be with an American, but I would be. If I'm locking myself down with somebody that's going to be dedicated to the grind, if you're willing to give me 20 years of your life, I'm willing to give you the best 20 years of your life. I'm willing to make sure that the back 40 is going to be better than the first 20. That way you're going to be like, dang, this was a great investment, because your 20-year plan to success, the less money that you save and invest, the longer it takes for you to become a millionaire. But if you take the advice of the rich, poor people take the money they have left over and they invest what's left. Rich people invest first and take what's left, and they start paying for stuff. So why is it that they're taking 60, 70, 80% of their income, putting it into stocks, bonds, and real estate, Bitcoin and stuff, and then taking the dividends from their investment and paying their bills, while the rest of us are paying our bills first and then taking the change and putting it on the stocks, bonds, and real estate? Why? Why are we doing that? Isn't it backwards? Because that I already told you guys about Orchid. Now Orchid has rolled back a little bit, and as of yesterday, Orchid is a real estate investment trust that's like $8.01 or $8.02 a share. It is putting out $1.54 per share per month, which is about 18.64% after the California fire, right? So if you had $1,000 worth of shares, you would have about $190 worth of revenue off of that $1,000. You think, that's not a lot of money. It's only $1,000. Well, of course. But if you were taking, like, for example, that couple that was making, the husband was making 50,000, the wife was making 51,000, and the wife was spending the man's entire paycheck on the bills, and whatever he didn't pay for, she paid for, and then she kept the difference. If you're pocketing $30,000 a year that's not going on bills, and you're not going to waste it on entertainment, you put away $30,000 a year, you're talking about getting $1,900 for every $10,000 that you put away this year. You're looking at almost $6,000 that you're getting off of that. And if you're doing that every year, in 10 years, you got $300,000 in the bank plus interest, which means you might be closer to be $300,000 or $400,000. And that would be getting you the 19, almost 20%, which would be still putting you somewhere closer to $60,000. So if you're getting back $60,000 a year off of your investments because you took 30% of your money and put it away for 10 years, the second 10 years is going to be flipping fantastic, because by the time you finish that second 10 years, you're going to be looking at almost $750,000 to $900,000, where you would be getting almost $300,000 off of your money. This is what we're talking about. So 20-year plan, you would be looking at making more money off of the dividends off of your investments than what you would be getting off of paying for stuff up front and then taking a change and throwing it down. But see, people don't think about that. You got to build a strong business profile before you can utilize that business to generate revenue. A good business credit score can lead to better financing terms and opportunities for business growth. So financial success and responsibility is that attractive quality trait that potential partners are looking for. So you're able to show that you can handle a business. You're able to show that you can handle large quantities of money, big budgets. That's going to be attractive for accountants. That's going to be attractive for big business, but that's also attractive in relationships, which is why I say, ladies, those men that take you out on $300 to $500 a night dates and take you out on steak and lobster and everything like that, while fantastic, that entertains you. That man isn't really good for your agenda if you're trying to improve yourself and he's being financially wasteful just to impress you. I mean, a man should be able to impress you based off of the things that he does that doesn't necessarily cost him $1, because if he's going to value you as a person, he's going to make sure that you have what you need and do some of the things that you would prefer, even if he doesn't do everything that you would prefer, where he's working towards the betterment of your success. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to buy you the next Coach purse or the red velvet bottom shoes or a Louis Vuitton outfit. But if he know that you need a dentist to get them teeth fixed, he'll get them teeth fixed. Instead of buying you 30-inch, 36-inch Brazilian weave, you know, he might take you to the doctor and help you get rid of that bleeding ulcer or something. You know, if they see that you look faint, instead of you having to pass out first, he might get you to the doctor sooner. He might cook for you, let you stay in bed, nurse you back to health, get your vitamin D in there, and work you it back into a good health. Those are the people that'll sacrifice their safety to make sure that you're safe. Those are the people that will be up all night looking for you because you got lost. Those will be the ones that'll fill up your gas tank and fill up their gas tank too. Pay your phone bill and pay their phone bill too. Buy you a car because your car is old. Then drive your car and give you a brand new car because they couldn't afford to buy two cars. You know, those are the ones that put you before themselves. But those are the ones that you're supposed to put before yourself, because that's reciprocation. So one of the things that you guys can do to better your business credit is to attend some of these business credit seminars or networking events, like the one mentioned by Bree Books, where you could introduce yourself to new people with similar this would be able to expand your social circle, because I told you guys before that if you have a network where you're the most successful person in your network, you've plateaued. And a lot of people feel like once you've plateaued, you have a solid foundation. There is a possibility for you to have a solid foundation, but there's also the possibility that you're plateauing, meaning that you don't have the ability to improve. So you always want to find a way to go find more people that have more knowledge than you so that you can learn from them. So to expand your social network, you might want to meet potential romantic partners with shared financial goals, because that'll help you with saving and spending and investing money. Instead of having somebody that wants to do trips around the world when you're trying to build up a retirement, you guys can both build up a retirement and potentially take a little bit of money out of it and do trips around the world, as long as you're doing it fiscally responsibly, because we've already talked about ways that you guys can travel around the world, invest in different countries, and get paid for traveling. As long as it's making money, it makes sense. You'll be able to develop relationships with like-minded individuals and gain access to exclusive social events where you might encounter the dating prospects that you didn't know existed. So while it's generally advised to keep business and personal finance separate, you have some suggestions for budgeting business profits for personal dating expenses, like allocating a portion of your business profits as your personal income. This should be a fixed amount that covers your living expenses, including dating. Within your business, your personal budget, you want to designate a specific amount for dating activities, and this could be a percentage of your salary or a fixed sum as well. If you consider transferring your dating budget to a personal account to keep it distinct from business funds, you would be able to keep detailed records of your dating expenses to ensure you stay within your allocated budgets. Now, one of the things you also can do, because if you're a business person and you love talking about your business and you're going on these dinner dates with these girls, fellas, if you're having a date with a person and you're talking about business, that's a business date, which means your business can pay for the date. So now she knows what you do for work. You can see if she wants to be a client or if she wants to be in a relationship, which means that dinner can be written off on your taxes. These are things that some of the wealthy people do. That's one of the reasons why you see in the movies, because most of us don't get to experience this in real life, but you see it in the movies where rich people have big business discussions over dinner, over expensive dinners, because the dinner is charged to the company and written off on the company's taxes. So the employees can live a better standard of living through the job by having business while having entertainment, which is why in Asia, a lot of people will have dinner first, have drinks and dancing and partying first, and then talk business. Because you can have a good night at a nice restaurant or a karaoke spot or something like that. And because you closed the business deal after the night was over, whatever that bill was for that night is written off on the business expenses, not off of your personal paycheck. Now, remember, regularly reviewing your dating budget and adjusting it based on your business's performance and your personal needs will give you the ability to make sure that you're not overspending. Because just because your business is generating revenue doesn't mean that your business is generating enough revenue to sustain itself. So if you have to subsidize your business's income because it's a startup or it hasn't quite taken off just yet, you want to make sure that you're not wasting your profits that you could be reinvesting into the business to maintain it or to expand it, and then end up wasting that on a date. You want to make sure that you keep it in mind that the business has to survive in order for you to continue to generate revenue. That's something that you just have to remember. So being financially successful is considered attractive for several reasons. So financial success often represents the ability to provide and protect, which is, evolutionarily attractive, especially to women. Being financially successful and financially responsible as a woman is attractive to a man, and from a different perspective, because it's not about protecting or providing. It's about showing that you're not going to waste the resources. Being able to go shopping with a man and not buy the most expensive thing shows him that you're going to be responsible with his money. Look, there go Cody. Just go ghetto and drive around and act hood. bro, you got to be more financially responsible than that, Cody. You got to do like San Andreas, and you got to put her on the handlebars of the bicycle and ride around on a bicycle and go hood. You can't be out there doing pull-ups and drive-bys and cars no more. Gas costs too much money. Y'all got to be on little electric bicycles and stuff that are solar powered so that you ain't got to pay for stuff. He says, Dance of the Flamingos, and it's 16 different colored birds. Look, hey, I'm just trying to tell you like that. That's you gotta when you think about going cheap, like for example, I'm gonna tell you something real quick, and some of y'all are gonna be like, that's dirty, but check this out. Olive Garden is like a 3 or 4 star restaurant, might be considered a 5 star restaurant, depending on what neighborhood and the quality of the business that you go to. But Olive Garden has the buy one, get one situation where for $50, you get two $25 plates of steak and pasta, or you can do the surf and turf pasta with the shrimp scallops and the gorgonzola steak. I know because I goes there. But you also can go there and just get the bread, the endless bread and the endless salad, and then just order yourselves a soup and split the soup, where you probably would have paid $8 between the two of you, including drinks. If you really want to fill yourself up with a bottomless salad, each one of you get a big bowl of salad from the bottomless salad and just eat the salad with the bread. But if you really want to spend $50, y'all can both get the 2 for special. You could do the same thing at Applebee's, 2 for $25. The Chili's got the same thing, 2 for $25. You know, you don't have to be out there $200 a person talking about some, impressing the girl, because again, it's only an impressive date if you went there and charged up $250 and she honestly said, I got the check. I would be blown away, because I'd be looking at this like, man, this is not what I was planning on doing for today. And before I could even show my poker face, she done paid and tip. Yo, she bought me right there. I'm trying to see what the second date looked like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also still looking at the fact that, hold on now, we spent $500 tonight. We're not trying to do this on a regular basis. Cody said it's beyond Jodie Foster. You right. I remember Mulder and Scully. See the 08 Honda Civic following you like X-Files after with the red dragon on it, like Tokyo Extreme Racer, when it coasted behind you, flashing their lights, waiting for that race to start. Hannibal Lecter. Look, now that's what we're talking about right now. That's what we're talking about right now. But you guys got to understand that this is going to symbolize security and stability for potential future families, because if you guys are able to build and grow, then you're able to increase the quantity of wealth that makes you guys qualifiable for having a stable income for offspring. Because a lot of families, low-income families, are having children without regret, and they're having children without regards for their financial status. And the issue with that is that because you barely had enough money for 2 people, when you have a third mouth to feed, and as I told you guys yesterday and the day before, how that starts adding up to like an extra $25,000 a year, it's a lot of money that you didn't budget for, but now you have to provide for it. And that's where parental sacrifice comes in, because parents have to sacrifice not having, because they don't have enough to give to themselves and give to their children. So the parents don't have to give to their children because there isn't enough there, not because the parents are supposed to make sacrifices. If the parents were more fiscally responsible before the children came out, they would be able to care for the child without having to sacrifice themselves for the child. But we also have to understand one of the reasons why women are prolonging childbirth until they're in their mid-30s, not recognizing that you're more fertile in your early 20s and in your teens than what you would be in your 30s, that women are limiting their ability to be good mothers because they want to wait until the right time that they're financially responsible, and there's never a right time. The children either come or they don't. Cody said, all for France. They either come or they don't. So if the children aren't being produced, and they're not being produced, but if the children are being produced, you just got to find a way to make money to take care of them too. But if you're putting all your money into stocks and bonds and real estate, Bitcoin and whatnot, and you're generating revenue where you don't have to worry about where the money's coming from next month, because the same payment you got this month is going to be the same payment you got next month. If you start getting $2,500 payments a month on your investment, which could occur off of upward of about $20,000 to $25,000 being put away, if you put it in the right kind of option, then the amount of money that you're getting off of your dividends would cover the cost of the child. So you don't have to work more to cover the cost of the child. You just have to take a lot of the interest off of your principal and pay for the kid. He said, wear all your white shirts and look for white bread on the streets. Well, I don't know about white bread, but I know that if you wear white shirts and you go out there and get you a spicy Italian on Italian urban cheese at Subway, you'll pick up a lot of white women. So wealth is associated with higher social status and power, which can be attractive qualities, which is one of the reasons why women in Asia find Americans more attractive than the locals, because you have to have money to not be homeless in America, because if you don't have enough money, you are going to be broke as balls. Now, you also understand that while other countries like was it Cambodia, we talked about Japan, Russia, Romania, special shout out to Red Void and Omni 81, Brazil, these countries that are at a third of the cost of living as the United States, where the entire cost of living in another country is less than the cost of your car insurance in America. The fact is that if you take that standard of living and go to a third world country, and it's technically not a third world country because the United States is ranked number 137 in most categories of what is considered a good country. But the fact is, a non-American country, you go there with your assets and you could find yourself living large and having a larger quantity of money to invest because you're not spending as much money. Even being wasteful, you could spend $2,000 a month in another country and be living the life of the top 1%, whereas in America, you wouldn't be able to do that. So this can provide access to exclusive social circles and greater opportunities, no matter what country you go to. But if you're going to the third world countries and you're getting women that have not been Americanized, is what they call them, those are the ones that are not looking for your money. They don't even know that they're attractive. They just know that they're a hard worker, and they're willing to be a hard worker for you if you're willing to take care of them. Those are the ones that are the most attractive, because they're not just attractive because they look attractive. They don't just look like an 8, 9, or a 10. They actually have the positive partnership attitude, and they have the frugal mindset where they're not wasting your resources because they're used to stretching a peso further than we stretch a dollar, which makes them fiscally successful with your thousands, if not millions, because they're used to only spending a bunch of money on food, but they will save money everywhere else so that they can spend more money on food. Those are going to be the ones that are going to fix it themselves, fix the washer, fix the dryer, fix the car, fix the scooter, instead of paying a mechanic, and take that money and go and buy groceries with it. The women in America that pay for their hair and nails to get done and then come and ask the man for extra money, if you were more efficient and did all the work that the help would normally do, then the man would have more money to give to you because he wouldn't be paying all these extra people to do the stuff that you're not willing to help get done. You guys can fix cars together. So Cody said, look, it did it to me again. It's got one of them situations where it's not allowing me to see what was being said. Cody said, never paint your walls any color, so they're always white. Now, that is almost not true. Reason being, most walls are white because they're made with sheetrock. But if they're not made with sheetrock, if they're made with wood, they're going to be brown. So if you don't paint your walls, it might be white, but it also might be an off-white, like a vanilla color, or it's going to be a light tan color. So like the palm of my hand, it might be one of those colors. But that color actually is really good for smokers because the yellow tarnish that you get from smoking isn't readily seen from a tannish yellow wall. Just saying. He says, go to Rome, Italy, and just look around like Mr. Bean. Well, yeah, you could do that too, because if you go to Rome, but when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. So if you go to Rome, you're going to be able to negotiate and work things out with the people there, and you're going to be able to get your get you the kind of partner that actually benefits you, as opposed to settling for less because they refuse to change and they expect you to accept them for who they are as damaged goods in their 30s and 40s. The America's got it twisted. Cody says, a big argument over my shoes. What big argument over your shoes? While he tells me about the big argument, financial success allows for a lifestyle that includes luxuries such as expensive gifts, exotic vacations, and fine dining, which can be appealing to potential partners. But wealth is often seen as a result of hard work, intelligence, and ambition. So these underlying traits are attractive in and of themselves. So women tend to be more interested in a man's earning capacity rather than his current wealth, because a man who can get more money is going to be able to do more than a man who already has a lot of money, because once his money runs out, he can't get more money. But she can, or he can, continue to generate larger quantities of money if he's already doing a good job of generating larger quantities of money right now. Cody says, I love the ivory color. That's true. That's nice. Ivory is like a very, very mesmerizing color to have. It has a little bit of a marble sparkle to it, but it also has the antique accents to it, which kind of gives you almost like an old English kind of design, which is really impressive for certain structures of certain houses. I lost my fellow senators. What is that? Senators sandals in New York. Oh, are you talking about Sanders? In New York, own apartment, and he's blaming me for losing the sandals. Oh, so you lost one of your roommate's sandals. Okay. Well, that's their fault. The luxurious man. Well, I try. I don't always see myself as a luxurious man. I try to live beneath my means more often than not. I talk myself out of buying things because I could put the money somewhere else where I can make money off of that money and then use the money that my money generated to get the stuff later. So before I tell you don't go buy a WWE championship title so that you can get your edge on, I say get it with the profits from your investment instead of taking your paycheck and going to get it where now you got to go make another paycheck. That's the difference in mindset. Instead of saying don't be wasteful, I'm saying don't be wasteful with your principal. I prefer for you not to be wasteful ever, but I'm going to tell you don't be wasteful with your principal, because you have to work harder to replace your principal than what you would have to enjoy the dividends off of your principal, because a principal will always be there. And if you only utilize a percentage of your principal and reinvest the remainder of your principal back in, then your principal is going to continue to grow. So say that you get a 20% dividend return and you only spend 15% of it, you put 5% back. You're going to continue to have a 5% increase on your principal because you're not using the whole dividend return, which gives you the ability to live off of some of it and put back the rest. If you use what you need and then put the rest of it back, you have a larger principal over time. So this suggests a preference for partners who can sustain financial success over time. And you're looking at the ability to manage money effectively and be financially stable. And this is going to be seen as an important factor in attraction, especially in long-term partnerships. So a survey revealed that financially fit individuals emerge as the second most important factor in attraction, highlighting the significance of financial stability in modern relationship. But keep in mind, the key factor after height is financial status, which is ridiculous because men can't control their height. But the shorter you are, the more money you have to make before a woman can say that you're appealing in America. But if you go to another country like Asia, Vietnam, or Philippines, where all of the women are between 4'11" and 5'2", where a tall woman would be considered 5'6", they're going to take you at 5'8", 5'6". You don't have to be 6 feet tall. You don't have to be 6'5". If she's 4'11", 88 pounds, or 5'1", 95 pounds, you're taller than her. And they're not walking around with heels on all day long. So you're taller than her. You're golden. Go get some of those geisha girls off the sidewalk. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. So, no, like literally, I'm a brilliant painting artist. He's a painter and an artist. And I can't even do what I need to do between my dog, family, and friends. Well, first of all, if you are a painter and an artist and you have a dog, why do you not have dog paintings? Because you can put your dog in the paint and then paint with your dog. That's called bonding. You can paint portraits of your family. That's called advertisement. They can help you sell it on eBay. That's called a family business. So you could do whatever you want to do if you apply yourself to it. You just don't apply yourself. You allow yourself to be distracted by your dog, your family, and your friends. And that distraction deters you from your ability to succeed. Some people allow distractions to stop them from their success because it's a self-conscious, fulfilling prophecy of failure, where you are deliberately, unconsciously allowing yourself to put yourself in a position where you will not succeed so that you can tell yourself, I tried and I failed, so that you don't have to continue succeeding had you succeeded in the first place. Because what if you do succeed? Some people have a fear of success that is far greater than a fear of failure. A fear of success is the thought process that you don't believe that you can keep doing this on a regular basis. Whereas some people won't try it because they don't want to be embarrassed about the fact that they didn't do well enough. But a lot of people just don't want to succeed because they don't want to have to be stuck in a situation where they got to keep performing like that on a regular basis. My petite style, your petite style, and my petite style too. Bro, I tell you what. Lolitas, that's what I'm down for. But here's a question. How does all of this apply to dating? A lot of people ask this. And well, think about it. When you have a strong business credit, you're seen as a responsible, reliable, and financially savvy individual. And you're more attractive, more confident, and more in control. And that is the incredible appeal to potential partners. So while business credit secrets aren't directly related to the dating itself, the financial stability, confidence, and networking opportunities they provide could indirectly enhance your dating life. Cody says, my paintings aren't family and dog paintings. They are hundreds. Difference. No, I'm not saying that they're not valued. Are you painting $100 bills? Because I was talking about painting the dog or using the dog as a paintbrush. And then I was saying paint pictures of the family, like family portraits and stuff like that. Because you guys are artists, you could do ETFs and NFTs with your paintings and really make some dope quantities of cash. Like that's a doable. Because a lot of the times nobody really needs a Van Gogh. They just need a custom handmade something or other. And they'll pay a lot of money for it. Like Esty will get so much money just because you can't find this exact same item anywhere else because it's handmade by the person that's selling it. That makes your item a exclusive item. And that's right, Mr. Monopoly. That's exactly what you will be doing. So remember that healthy relationships is built on more than just financial success. So balance your focus on business credit with developing other personal qualities as well. And you also want to remember, while providing your income through business credit may enhance your dating life, it is important to use credit responsibly and prioritize genuine connections in relationships. Cody's going to talk about flow and then buy waterworks. You should buy bottled water, T-Mobile, Apple, Dodge, Chevy, TikTok. Come on now, because it's going to be worth trillions with what Trump said. You need to be getting you a few 100,000 shares of TikTok before Elon Musk stick all of his Tesla profits on it. You know, you gotta start investing in places. Gold, silver, Bitcoin. You know, you got to start putting your money in more places. What was that? Red Tag. You got to invest in that social media platform as well. He said, I wanted to paint my blue tick house. Oh, blue tick hound hunting a African lion. That's a good way to go. You just got to hope that the lion stays still long enough. You might have to take a picture of the dog chasing the lion and then paint the picture later. Because if you sitting over there trying to Van Gogh this thing and a lion decides to come and pounce you like that bull got Raymond Reddington in the last episode of Blacklist, you ain't gonna be able to finish that painting. And he says, or like the ancient Greeks. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I would buy a painting like that. I've got to get a big enough house for it though. I got it. I'm talking about like a 2-story, 10-bedroom house kind of thing. I'm not trying to do one of them like $48 million or $480 million houses like Drake got. I ain't trying to do that. That's too much. Because I would be in one room per week, different room every week of the year, and not sleep in the same bed twice in a year. That is too much going on. I'd have to pay for housekeepers and everything. There will be wings in the house that I have never explored. That's how deep that situation would go. It is crucial to maintain clear boundaries between business and personal finance for legal and tax purposes, but always consult with a financial advisor or accountant to ensure you're managing your finances appropriately. However, it's important to note that while financial success can ensure attractiveness, it's not the sole determinant. So emotionally connecting, sharing your values and capabilities, ladies, will remain critical factors in building lasting relationships. So one of the things that I want to do, he said that was a $75 property in the Monopoly board. You sure right, Waterworks. I want to share a story with you that really drives the point home. There was a guy that I knew, and he was struggling to make ends meet. He still is, but he was working on multiple jobs just to get by. Now he's working on one. He felt like he was going nowhere fast, and he wasn't. And I kept telling him that. But then he discovered the power of business credit cards. Still working on it, but everything did start to change. He's established some business sense, still teaching him about it, and he's still working on building up his credit because he screwed up a couple times. But he has suddenly gained more access to all sorts of financial resources because I helped him get it that he never thought possible. So fast forward a few months down the line, actually, now that I think about it, it's probably been a few years now because I've known him for almost 14 years. But he completely transformed his life around, still got a lot of work to go, but he was earning more money now than what he was before, and he does have a lot more confidence in himself than what he did before. And he is even out there dating every now and again when he's not out there trying to make some extra cash. So it wasn't just casual dating. He was attracting some more moderately effective qualities of women that he was looking for, who were drawn to his financial stability and responsibility. So it was inspiring to see that this particular situation turning into a testament to the power of business credit. But one of the most incredible things about the story is that it's not unique. I've seen the same transformation happen time and time again, and it's amazing to see how much of an impact business credit can have on someone's life. He says, walk around like Uncle Sam on stilts, red, white pants. True. It's not just about financial benefits, it's about the confidence and the security and the sense of freedom that comes with the financial responsibility. Look at that. We got a countdown going because we got something happening in 10 minutes. So I got to wrap things up a little bit. So to shorten things up a little bit, we've talked about connections between financial health and attractiveness, and we've explored the ways in which business credit can be a game changer for singles. By establishing strong business credit, you can increase confidence, improve your financial stability, and become more attractive to potential partners. It's a powerful tool and one that I highly recommend you guys taking a little bit of time to explore. If you guys have any thoughts that you want to put into the comments about utilizing business credit to upgrade your dating life or upgrade your financial status, make sure that you put that stuff in the comment section because I definitely love to hear about it. And don't forget to make sure that you check out the next couple videos that we have coming up in the next couple of days, because we have more business, finance, and relationship and social improvement, personal growth shows for tomorrow, Friday, and we have that NAACP and DEI program discussion that we're going to be having on Saturday. And then we're going to be talking about the other 29 executive orders, or 21 executive orders that Donald Trump has signed since the last time we talked about the first 9 executive orders that he signed. So we're going to be talking about how he's making even more changes on Monday. And we got to remember that we have our members only show on Saturday that's open to the public right now. And we would be able to go over the reactions to questions and comments from the fans, assuming that I can manifest the functionality of StreamYard because it doesn't always work to our perfection, but we try to make it work for us to the best of our ability. He says, what's funny, once I went to an art show and I grabbed in, what is that, hour drive, and blended so well. I don't get that. What's an hour drive? I'm saying that wrong, isn't it? Hour drive? Help me out, y'all. What's an hour drive? Hors d'oeuvre. Hors d'oeuvre. I'm saying it wrong and I'm looking at spell check. It happens sometimes. Everybody make mistakes. It's all right. I understand. I would go. Oh, but see, if you grab the hors d'oeuvre, but it was supposed to be part of the art exhibit, and you eat the art exhibit, isn't the art exhibit a new exhibit? Because it was once a portrait of uneaten food, and now it is a portrait of eaten food. Ben Franklin. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, so I do have to cut it short because we do got a 4-minute closing show, and I got something that I got to jump into in the next 7 minutes. So I want to wrap things up real quick. I want to thank you guys for coming to tonight's show. I want to say before I walk out of the door, ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking you, ladies, to please make it make sense. I see you guys as comments playing as the show's doing the outro song. I'll throw your comments up there as you still throw your comments up there the way I did yesterday. So don't worry, just because I'm wrapping the show up right now doesn't mean that over the next 4 minutes that any extra comments that comes up during the outro music is still going to be seen on the podcast. I'll put it up on the screen for you guys. So, if you got comments, keep bringing them in. I want to thank you, fellas, for joining the podcast. Red Boy, Omni 81, Liberty Twitcher, Reese, Mr. Pibbs, Max Opposer, AJ. I really appreciate you guys for showing us love. Russia, Romania, Brazil, Philippines, Vietnam. I appreciate you guys. Ukraine, I appreciate you guys for showing us love on a regular basis. And I just want to say thank you guys for joining This and That, because I'm your host, Xander, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. And tomorrow, we are going to be on time, showing you guys, well, reasonably on time. We're probably going to be 5 minutes late because I got to piece this stuff together, but we're going to be showing you tomorrow more information about business, finances, and investments. So thank you guys for coming to the show. I'm going to see you tomorrow night. He says, Main Z, you look like you're going to save the salmon in the Riviera. But salmon shows confidence. It's not breast cancer month, but I love breasts, so salmon. And the rest of it's orange. Look at that. Another meeting. All right. Thank you guys. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow night.
Higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not landing on higher ground where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield to mediocrity and chaos. I will never yield.